Mark Bergen here with Schwing America, and today we are going to look at the S43SX. The 43SX has a 5-section roll and fold boom, and on the tip section we have 270 degrees of articulation. The turret has a slewing range of 730 degrees, and we have an S3000 pipeline, 5-inch, on both the boom and the deck. This particular model is mounted on a Mack TerraPro, and that has 80 gallons of fuel on the driver's side and 50 gallons of fuel on the passenger side. As we move in towards the cab, we can see our SCC controller. So that is now a 5-inch screen. If you get the optional camera system, you'll have a 7-inch screen, but now everyone has a backup camera standard. So there's your backup camera, and the SCC allows us to switch between pumping and driving modes, and you turn on your work lights, and you can also raise or lower your pusher axles if installed. Moving out of the cab towards the front of the machine, we have our 150-gallon hydraulic tank mounted in the subframe. So there's your clean out cover and level gauge. And the 43 has the SX style outriggers, or it's sometimes called the banana outriggers. And we have a subframe mounted toolbox. So in the first toolbox, we have your Scan Rico radio. There's your manuals, your parts book, and your ops are in that box. And this customer opted for the high and low pressure fittings kit. So that is what is in those cases there. Below that, we have our driver side outrigger controls, along with the outrigger push button and e-stop. And then of course we have our 2 outrigger work lights. And right below that, there is our pad rack. As we move towards the back of the machine, you can see the night light, or tip section lights. And down here we have our e-stop, along with our work light socket. And then we have our accumulator bypass handle, so that will bypass your accumulator pump in the event of failure. This machine has our 2525-6 pump kit that outputs 213 cubic yards an hour at 22 strokes per minute and 1169 psi of pressure on concrete. So those long strokes equal less wear than the competitors. And we also have our B-Rock valve with B-Rock hopper. So the B-Rock valve is easy to clean out, uses less water, and is easy to rebuild. There we have our backup camera, and this customer also opted for our red light, green light warning system. So that is those LEDs on either side of the taillights. So when your concrete pump is in forward, those will be green, and if it's shut off, those will be red. At the back, we've got our 3-button panel. So we've got an e-stop, agitator direction reverse button, and a horn button. That horn button is just to warn people. And then we have our water box drain, water box fill, and our water box supply valve. Above that, the operator control panel, along with the concrete pump pressure gauge and the accumulator pressure gauge. And there we have our water tank level gauge. And there we have our ram change station. So that is when you're changing rams, that will put your pump kit at minimal output, so you can safely change those. Moving up on the deck, we have our 160-gallon plastic water tank. Now you can get the optional tank heater. This truck is going to the south, so it does not have that. Another option is the onboard filtration system. That is that canister right there. So that is a 3-micron filter for extra filtration. And now we get a look at that 2525-6 pump kit. And that is an open loop hydraulic circuit. So it runs very efficiently and provides lots of fuel savings. Slowly moving off the deck. Looking at the passenger side of the machine, we've got a 24 by 24 by 24 frame mounted toolbox. outrigger pad holders. And then of course we have our passenger side subframe mounted toolboxes. And in the first toolbox, these are your hydraulic controls. So there's your boom hand valve, concrete pump agitator hand valve, your E-stop manifold with built-in stroke limiter, and your high pressure filter. So in the event of electrical failure, you can run the machine manually from these controls. Next to that, we have our vector controller and our options box. And below that, we have our passenger side outrigger controls, along with the outrigger push box, E-stop, and work lights. Above there, we have our combination of oil cooler and filter, and that is hydraulically driven. So again, this is the S43SX, 5-section roll and fold boom, 138 foot 6 inches of vertical reach, and 123 feet of horizontal reach. If you want to learn more, just go to Schwing.com. Thank you.